I became an unpaid intern again at 61. I know I don't look a day over 59, but I am doing an unpaid internship to become a therapist. I am in my final little bit here from now until December, and I'm getting master's degree in social work to become a therapist. And I just kind of wanted to chat about the ups and downs of being an unpaid intern at 61. My name is Kim. Hello, if you're new here. I am on a mission to make my last decades my best decades. I am a nanny for my paid job. I have 3 adult kids. I have a grandson and a granddaughter on the way. I am divorced, have been divorced, and completely single for 18 years, and very happy about that. And I have 2 stinky schnauzers over there on the couch that would rather I be petting them than doing this video. So let's talk about being an unpaid intern at 61. I kind of wanted to go over what some of the pros and cons are. So this truly is, I go show up 20 hours a week. Where I'm working this internship is at a therapy office. I think there are, 6, 7, maybe 8 therapists there. They work with a very specific clientele. And I go 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I do a Zoom meeting on Mondays for 2 hours. And between now and the first couple weeks of August, I'll do 250 hours. And then from August to December, I'll do another 250 hours at the same place. So let's get into some of the pros. I enjoy an internship because you get to learn without the pressure of performing. I last year worked at an inpatient psychiatric hospital for adults, learned so much, and going into that, that is something that I was very interested in doing once I graduated. I, worked on a team of caregivers, so psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, nurses, therapists, social workers, and it was great. It was hard because I'm also working at the same time, but I learned a ton. They know that you're there to learn. There's not the expectation that you have it all figured out. And it's so far my experience has been, this is pro learning, like ask questions, speak up. This is what you're here for. So that's been a great thing. The second thing, I think, as somebody that is wanting to stay as healthy as possible, is I believe it's helping ward off like brain rot and maybe dementia. It's rewiring my brain, literally. So school has done that, and having to read and process and write and know how to do things on the computer, work in Canvas, make PowerPoint presentations, just all kinds of stuff. But then when you look at a specific job, like last year I learned how to use Epic, which is a health records software that lots of hospitals use, just all kinds of things. So it's constantly getting me out of my comfort zone and having me use parts of my brain that I'm not used to using. And I don't have the scientific proof in my specific case, but I know that the more active physically and mentally that we stay, the better off we are. Number 2, I am meeting people I wouldn't have ever met otherwise. So I've never really had a profession. That's something I have some shame around. I didn't get my first degree, my bachelor's, until 2018. I started it in 1982. And honestly, in 2018, I just went back to say that I did it. I had 90 or 100 hours, and I just never finished. And so I went online full-time for a year just to get that bachelor's and say I have a bachelor's degree. No one in my family, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my parents, my sibling, there are no degrees. Actually, one of my aunts is a nurse and has a bachelor's in nursing. So it was just really important for me to finish it, something that I had started. I never had a profession, and kind of always thought about, wow, what it would have been like if I did this or if I did that. And now I've been able to, work in unpaid, in two different places where I'm working with the most amazing professionals, and it's been great. I'll have those contacts of all the people that I've worked with for references or potential jobs in the future, and it's just a network that I truly would not have had without being able to have this experience. Number 4, I discovered by my first internship what I want and don't want. And I think this second internship in a one-on-one therapy clinic will kind of help me know, is that something that I really want to do? The thing about social work is there's so many different areas that you can work in, micro to macro, all different industries, private sector, public sector, all kinds of things. And so it's been nice to try different things, to see, peek behind the curtain and see, can I really see myself doing this? As far as the hospital last year, I learned so much, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but that would not be my first choice, working at an inpatient psychiatric hospital. I won't even get into why our system is broken, but I would not have known that. I was kind of drawn towards like a healthcare social worker. And I think it'd be very different on, just like a med-surg unit in a hospital or something. So I wouldn't rule it out completely, but I probably would not put at the top of my list doing the internship that I did last year as a full-time job. So it helped me know what I want and don't want. Lastly, I'm proving to myself that it's possible. That has been great. You can ask my friend, my best friend, that I, freak out on before every internship. It feels scary and overwhelming, and I feel like, why am I even doing this? This is so stupid at my age, and it's probably going to be terrible, and it's going to be the wrong place for me. I just kind of catastrophize it, and that hasn't been the case once I get there. And I rise to the occasion, and I figure it out, and I do it. And so it's helping me know I can do hard things. I can do things that pull me out of my comfort zone. And that's been good for my confidence. It also shows younger people that maybe had ideas about, what's possible at a certain age. Especially here in America, we don't really value older people, especially older women. We kind of get overlooked and discounted. And I think for those that I'm working around and working with, even on the patient or client side, I think it's kind of badass for them to see somebody that really is kind of past what is a normal time to do something big like this, and that is doing it. So hopefully it encourages others. So those are the pros. The cons, this is costing me money and time. I have had to cut back on work because last year I didn't, and it just nearly took me out. I would sometimes go 8, 9, 10, 12. I think the longest I went without a day off is 14 days, between working 20 hours a week at the hospital and working like 30 to 38 hours a week at as a nanny. Commuting, I commute probably 30 to 40 minutes to Dallas for my nanny job, and then my internships are between 20 and 30 minutes away. So it's a lot, and I get to pay the university for being an intern, like college credit hours, like 4 hour. This is a 4-hour class. So it costs, and it's really rigged, and it shouldn't be this way, and it needs to be reformed because it's a very privileged thing. And I'm going to be in debt when this is over with because I've had to in order to be able to pay for school. And like this year, I'm not working as much because I literally couldn't do that. So it's really not fair. Now, if I had a partner that I could depend on, or if I was young enough, I was still living at home or something like that, it's doable. But it really makes this part of it, the unpaid internship, really makes it to where it is either so hard that you're burned out when you finally graduate already, or it's not possible for some people to do it. So that's the con. It costs time and money. It's a little, number two is my ego takes a little bit of a hit. Everybody I'm working around is younger than me at both settings, last year and this year. And I can be hard on myself sometimes. You know, it's great I'm doing this, and right now I feel confident about it, but it's pretty humbling to be this age. And it's not really so much the work, like it's humbling that you're asking me to do this. It's more, I'm in a situation where I'm a grad student at 61 and I am going to work as an unpaid intern in order to progress in my career that is just starting at 61. So that's been a little hard, but I have to push through it. And, you know, so far I've done that, and I have to concentrate on the fact that the time would have passed anyway. I've done something productive with it that will hopefully support me and that I'll be able to help others. And that's where I have to kind of focus. Number three is the energy gap. I don't have the energy that I had like 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. I think it's keeping me young because I'm like going, but it can be pretty exhausting and overwhelming. And I think I haven't had too much of this, but just not everyone will understand or be supportive about what you're doing. Most everyone around me personally has been. I think some were a little in the beginning, but you know, maybe it was that they didn't know if I'd actually, you know, follow through or whatever. But you know, that could feel bad to not have everyone be supportive. The flip side of that is at 61, I don't really care what other people think. There's the lady on social media, some of you may have seen, that just her whole channel and brand is just, you know, we don't care. We don't care about all of this stuff. We just don't care anymore. And that way it's been like, hey, whatever, I'm doing what I'm doing and don't worry about me. So tell me in the comments, is there something you're doing that is kind of unconventional or not normal? Or is there something that you want to do, but your age or circumstance has kept you from doing it? I want to hear both of those. And maybe we can encourage each other. I am basically will be crawling to the finish line in December, and I have committed to myself that I want this YouTube channel to be something that I've dedicated time to between now and when I graduate. So I'm going to try to do as much of this as possible. It will be probably unedited and very real and raw, but that's where my time is right now. I just don't have time to do more than that. So anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.